So really quickly, we're just going to dive into what we had already learned as a review from last week. So we'll do the breathing, reminding you the first one is to empty out your lungs completely, and then you're going to breathe in for 3 and out for 5 and empty. And so we'll do this together, okay? I'll lead you in. So empty, breathing in 1, out, push it on out, empty. Really good. Breathing in and out. Empty. One more. Empty. Really good. So after you're done with that technique, then make sure you check in on yourself and how you're feeling. Are you feeling better? Are you feeling more relaxed? And the answer is always yes when you decide to take a couple of minutes and do some deep breathing. So good job, guys. So we'll practice the second one. That was the Darth Vader move. That's how Paul talked about it this morning. So, to remind you, breathe in through your nose, and then you raise your soft palate in your throat, and you let the air just gently glide over the soft palate, and it sounds like a Darth Vader noise. You might make yourself yawn because you're raising your soft palate, and that's okay. This is all about soothing the nervous system. Okay, so I'll do it one time to remind you. So empty, breathing in. You guys do it with me, breathing in and empty. Breathing in. Good job. We'll do it 2 more times. Breathing in. And in. Good job. And Paul's back. So are you charging up, Paul? Okay, so what I want to teach you guys in strategies is we were talking about, the biggest thing with mindfulness and self-care right now is noticing when you're feeling bad and knowing that you can make other choices to feel better. And it doesn't mean that you're sticking your head in the sand, okay? It just means you love yourself enough and you're finding enough self-worthiness to change kind of the dynamics that you have going and shift them into more of a positive vein. So if you all would grab paper and pencil, if you have it around nearby, it would be awesome. I'm going to ask you a few questions so that you can be thinking about this and writing things down. And if you don't have pen and paper, you can use your phone. Probably your phone's nearby so you can make your notes. I'll give you just a second to grab that stuff. While you're doing that, I'll just share the beginnings of this strategy. Is called gifting yourself. So to me, it reminds me of when you're on the airplane and they ask us to put our oxygen mask on first to assist others. Before the pandemic, I really had to use that example because people didn't understand, why would I help myself before I help someone else? We've just been taught that that's rude. And it's not. It's what needs to happen. We all understand if you have the oxygen mask on first, then you're better fueled, you are more oxygenated, you're thinking clearer, you'll have better insights. And so really, to me, this strategy is about giving you the opportunity to choose some things that are going to make you feel better before you're triggered or your responses are out of control. You've thought it through, and so now you know what to grab onto to help yourself kind of pull out of it. So with gifting yourself and the oxygen mask, it's all about what would light you up, what makes you happy. And we can do this in 2 different ways. First is the obvious things that take up time. So we all know a bath is relaxing. We know a hike is relaxing. We know yoga is relaxing, those types of things. But man, that takes a lot of effort. Like, it takes time. That's like a 30-minute thing or an hour thing or an hour and a half kind of thing. So I would like you in this moment just to write down some stuff you do like to do that's getting yourself out and about. Like if it's just sitting in nature and letting the sun hit you, think about a couple of things that you like to do that are more of a physical choice. And then I'm going to show you some mental choices that you can make to help yourself. So So you're choosing some physical things. And if you're kind of stumped at the moment, you can choose my stuff. So you can say hike and sit in nature and give yourself some time after this. And you'll come up with some good answers for yourself. So the next thing with this gifting yourself is a mental gifts. So I was talking to the earlier group saying, you can, when you're feeling negative, you can make the choice to have more positive thoughts, or know that you can meditate like we did last week. Know that that doesn't have to take 10 minutes. I do recommend you start meditating in the morning for 10 minutes just because it sets a really beautiful tone for your day. But if you don't have that kind of time, really, to me, the mental choices is because you don't have a lot of time. So when you are, let's say, at the office or you're in the field and you only have 30 seconds before you walk into a house or something, and you're not feeling your best, that's when we would activate these mental suggestions just to kind of help uplift you authentically. I never want to kind of pat you and put a Band-Aid on something. You really want to find the heart-centeredness of it and let that shine through. So some suggestions are like, what's your happy place? We talked about, last week we did a meditation where you floated to an environment that was happy, and some of you chose a beach. That was the share that someone gave me. It might have been in the morning group. But it's for you right now, like, where would you like to go that feels good to you? Would the beach be fun? And this is in your mind, so there's no limitation. I was sharing, you could also choose like your bucket list place in the world you want to go. I mean, like, no one's traveling right now, so no one can get there, but you can get there in your mind. For me, I was sharing my number one was Machu Picchu, and I got to go there in 2012, and but I could have chosen that to float to in my mind's eye just to give yourself some relief. So I'll let you write down, like, what's your happy place? What does that look like? You can write down a bucket list environment that would be fun to be at. The beach resonates. You can write down the beach. So as you're thinking about that, I'll continue talking and you can write things down as they come to you. Another thing, my background is in theater. I shared with you guys last time that I was in New York City for 11 years. And so anything musical theater just makes me laugh. I think it's hysterical, and like the jazz hands or the heel clicks. And heel clicks are that funny Fred Astaire kind of your legs kick out. It's like, or they're called leprechaun kicks. It's kind of a silly thing, and they're normally only in shows. But if I'm alone and I'm down, I will totally do heel clicks. And I've never shared this but with you guys, and I just shared it on Instagram, so now the word's out. Heel clicks are where it's at. But also, if I only have 30 seconds and I'm about to get on a call with a client, I need to be upbeat and I need to be authentic, then I can imagine doing the heel clicks, and it shifts me. It helps me, right? So I'll stop talking and give you like a little bit of time to write down, what do you think these things are for you? So happy place or physical things you can do, that'll be fun. Okay. So what I'm going to do is to review the meditation piece that we did last week. I'm going to show you guys that we can do this pretty quick. I'm going to lead us, but I think we'll only be in this about 4 minutes, okay? So just helping you see that you can really shift how you're feeling authentically within a short amount of time. So go ahead and focus in on your heart, and we talked about lowering where you feel like you are inside your head, lowering it to your heart. And you might feel like it pops back up, but it's okay. You just keep lowering it to your heart. You want to feel like you're resting right here in your heart space. And once you feel like you're there, I want you to bring to mind your happy place. And if you're still struggling with that, it can be a place that you've experienced before. It can be someplace you want to be, a place that it seems like it'd be a magical place to be. So I'll give you guys a moment to float there. I always just close my eyes. It just helps me focus better. So I'm not watching the video. So that means no one's watching you. So just focusing on the heart. You're in that happy place. And I want you to imagine that you are there, so that you copy paste yourself. So there's two of you, there's you, and then there's you across from you in your happy place. You can hold each other's hands. Because this is you to you, as much as it's kind of weird, you've doubled yourself, it's okay. You can sit there and hold your hand and you get you. And as you allow yourself to connect to that copy pasted version of you, you feel more supported and you're in this beautiful place that you've chosen. Good job, you guys. And from here, you can affirm things. You can say things that make you feel better. So you can say something like, I am love. You can practice that. In your heart space is like, imagine your heart's like a chamber. And when you speak within your heart, it echoes off the walls. So you kind of feel a little bit of a reverberation in your chest. I am love. And you can say, I am peace. And you can say, I am calm. Let's repeat it. I am love. I am peace. I am calm. One more time. I am love. I am peace. I am calm. Now rest back in your heart space and you can open your mind's eye to the other you. You can just stare at yourself, and you know yourself so well. You know the things that are celebratory for you right now, and you know the things that are heavy on your heart, the things that are scaring you, the things that you're not going to say to anybody. As you're sitting there with yourself, this is support, acknowledging all of that, all the unspoken things that won't be brought to light. Just acknowledging it is very helpful to the heart. And you're acknowledging that with yourself right now. Good job, you guys. Really good job. And so center back to your heart. You can release the copy pasted version of you. And in this final stage of our short meditation, I want you to give yourself permission to do anything you want to. And I use the example of I've never got to ice skate as a kid, and I think I would have rocked it, but I feel like I'm too old to ice skate now. So it's like it's kind of like it's passed me by. I mean, I'm not going to cry about it, but it's not something that's going to be something, my mojo. Um, and so, but I could imagine myself being a great ice skater in my mind. I could imagine winning the gold medal. I can imagine doing lifts and turns and spins, things that I don't actually really want to. It's not like I don't really want to go to an ice skating rink and do that. It just seems like it'd be a fun thing. And so giving yourself this moment to give yourself permission to do something that you think you can't do, and watch yourself do it for a moment. And this is similar to my heel clicks, just imagining something that you want to do that's just for fun. It's just lighthearted. So I'll give you a moment to choose that. Okay, good job. Good job, guys. So float back to me. You can open your eyes when you're ready. So we did a few different things with the meditation. Like, I hope that you found some fun things maybe that surprised you in your mind to play with, so that now when you kind of feel like you're kind of dropping down or you're sinking down into some negativity, you can activate that more happy place. And again, when I say it's not about sticking your head in the sand, like, all of us know, we've all been around really upbeat people that are really infectious to be around, and you kind of wish you were like them, and how the hell are they that happy even though this craziness in the world, that kind of stuff. And they're more of what's the right word, not a mentor, but there's someone you look up to in a way. But now let's think about the person who's classically negative, and you kind of know they're never going to say anything upbeat or positive. You kind of don't really want to spend a lot of time with that kind of person. So it really is what we're cultivating inside that yields how we feel in the moment, that then helps our relationships or not, and I would like to say, like, this is really deep stuff, and that's why I do private sessions, because a lot of times the things that are holding you back, I find, are a lot of times in the childhood home. So the environment of what you grew up in, even if somebody didn't say things to you, you felt it, and that is valid and that matters. So as you're working with this, just have grace, give yourself some ease here. I wanted to also highlight, with that experience, I wanted to show you that it took us 5 minutes. I was timing it to make sure it was condensed and quick. So you can shift a lot in 5 minutes. Right now, I'd invite you to kind of check in on yourself, like, how are you feeling right now? Do you feel better than when we first got on the call together? My sense is probably yes. When we were doing the affirmations, so affirmations are positive statements, and they're just affirming the truth of your good nature, essentially. So when I was telling you to repeat, I am love, I am calm, I am peace, it's possible when I was saying that and you were saying it back to yourself, that you could feel inside you didn't like it. You're like, I'm not love, or I'm not calm. What is she saying? Does she know there's a pandemic? You would just naturally feel a little like, I don't want to say that. And I want you to circle or write down the word that you had the most trigger around, because that's just helping you see you don't have that belief system. It's okay if you don't believe you're love, but that gives you a target to start cultivating more self-love. Or if you don't feel calm, why do you not feel calm? And again, I have a hunch it was because you weren't raised in a calm environment. You know what I mean? A lot of this isn't anyone's fault. It's just what you lived through and what you've processed or what you haven't processed. So note that, okay, and we'll have time at the end for questions if that's not clear, or you want to dive deeper with it. Okay, really good job, guys. So